We're here at Winter NAMM 2016 on the Solomon Mikes booth with Daru Jones, drummer extraordinaire. So, Daru, tell us about this collaboration between you and Solomon then. Tell us, well, maybe first tell us a little bit about your background and how this came about.
Okay. Cool, my name is Daru Jones, drummer, also producer, and drum with Jack White. We just finished a tour, Lazaretto tour. I also work with hip hop artists, Slum Village, from Detroit, Talib Kweli, and a lot of the East Coast rappers. Also have a label called Music Records. It's my own boutique label. Soul Hop, stuff that I produce. And basically we're here to talk about my collaboration with Solomon Mikes, Steen right here. So I'm excited about this collaboration because one of the things as a drummer, and I want to talk about that. One of the things as a drummer, people say like I have that boom bap, simplistic. It's all about the sound, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this product, it represent my, what I'm on the kit, you know what I'm saying? Like the boom bap, just keeping it simple, but having a big, drive, you know what I'm saying? Having that, like it's like having a boombox system, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what's going on.
Because it uses a speaker inside it, doesn't it? So is that part of the sound then of getting that heavier kick sound that you're after?
Yeah, it's a really cool sub kick. You can use it for live, when you perform it live. Also in the studio, it's worked well, and I'm still, checking it out. But it works really. It's dope. It's like the extra little spunk, you know what I'm saying? It's like putting an 808 on your kick drum, you know what I'm saying? Just that little, not 808, but like a 909, but just giving it an extra little, you know what I'm saying? Hit in the face.
So do you run it alongside another mic then when you're miking up a kit?
Yeah, actually, I tried it out in the studio when I did a session. I had them do audio recording of just a regular microphone, and then I tested it with the sub kick, and you wouldn't believe it. You get all the undertones, and that's definitely like, I think what people admire about my playing is I give it the extra, the extra oomph, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like this complements my drumming, soul hop drumming, combination of hip hop and soul, and that's the aggression that I like to attack.
So we're here with Henry French, the man behind Solomon Mikes.
Thank you.
And can you tell us then, Henry, what's different about Daru's signature LoFReQ mic than the regular?
Well, we're really proud to be associated with Daru in the first place. He's a great guy. To know what the differences are, we got to go back to when he first got the mic, tried it out, loved it. We talked about his signature model, and he said, absolutely, I'd love to get associated with you guys. We said, okay, what kind of changes, how do we need to change it to make it voice for you? And he said, we don't want to change it. I love the sound, it works great. So we said, well, let's kind of do a couple things and elevate the model to make it a premium model. Little things like the wiring inside, which you can't see here, but inside the wiring is just a little more robust, a little heavier gauge. The components inside, little things like brass hardware here and there, just to kind of elevate it. Dust cover on the XLR, the Neutrik XLR with gold contacts, little things like that. The idea as well was to make sure that we didn't make a signature model that was out of reach of the average buyer. Whereas the standard LoFReQ in the United States is $199.99 map, this will be going to market at $249.99 map in the United States. Should be right around the $199 pound model, or pound area.
Okay.
So it's still, it's just elevated from the standard LoFReQ, but still just as accessible as the standard model.
Okay, so, and for people who aren't aware of the LoFReQ, can you just give us a quick rundown of why it's special, essentially? Because, it looks like a tiny drum with a speaker in it.
Exactly, which a lot of people have that misconception. And the thing is, there's a DIY community out there that says you can grab any speaker out there, throw it on the end of a stand, put an XLR on it. There is something to that. The fact is, once you refine it, you can get something that's a lot more usable in a lot of scenarios. What this is yes, that same idea of a reverse wired speaker. We started with an off-the-shelf speaker, and then went back and redesigned, worked with the manufacturer to get something that was going to work better as a microphone, more purpose-built. Essentially, this can work alongside something else, another microphone, whether it's something like a Beta 52 we use on a regular basis, D6, D112, they're all great mics, but they're not really designed to deal with a real low frequency, an 80 hertz, 100 hertz. This will sit in that range and augment your other signal, allowing you to get a wider frequency range. So the idea is that you have more control over those two ranges as well. You're not going to basically compress or EQ that 100 hertz area the same way you would 1K. So let the other mic do what it's designed best to do. This will take care of the low end and give you a wider response. It doesn't create low end, but it gathers it better than other mics do.
So it's essentially designed for kick drum, but does it work on, say, basses and guitar caps?
Well, that's the thing. Kick drum is the most common application. That's how people know it. The fact is, it is a low frequency capture microphone. Anything that's producing more low end in the room than you're getting through that mic, it'll work on it. Bass players have had a great response with this. Specifically, generally they get their signal direct, right off the head, or it's going into recorder, that kind of thing, just straight direct. But you're losing the feel of being in the room next to a cabinet. By adding this to the mix, that movement of air gets returned to the mix and it feels live. We could talk about frequency response, but that's the initial reaction that most bass players and audiences get, is the feel of being next to a cabinet is returned to the mix.
And so what is the frequency response?
Well, the frequency response it'll go as easily as low as 50 hertz and all the way up into the 3K range.
Okay.
It's not a flat response microphone, it's not intended to be one. It's intended to occupy a different space. But yeah, we have, generally people use it along with another microphone. We have several drummers that will actually use this as their only mic and EQ what they want in. The same way when they were using another mic and trying to add low end in, they're doing the same thing, but starting with this and building else, whatever other frequencies they were missing.
Right, okay. Well, thanks very much.
Hey, not a problem. I'm glad to see you again.
Likewise. Cheers, Henry.
We'll see you.